Nice.
My God.
You want to wait a minute before we pick it up?
No, it's okay. It's only you and me, so.
Hey, we're the drivers.
Yeah.
So I saw you put on the agenda that you saw the likely linkers game that I'm concepting out right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's really basic right now, but the idea is that if I get a little too markety lingo, then just pull me back and I'll explain further. But the idea is, one, to build a keyword branch around all of the topics that we think Rchain is related to, and then nail down what keywords to target in our content and our outreach so that we increase our SEO, our organic search results for whatever we want to show up for. So I think last time I brought up that, finally when you Google Rchain actually comes up and not old scenario articles. Well, I hope that, or I think this is a perfect use case for the community, is that we can pick and choose keywords like decentralized application or smart contract language, these very big ideas and topics, and we can rally around those keywords in a way that when people type in smart contracting language, Rchain shows up, and then that will be a mechanism for increasing organic traffic over time, which is the best return on investment. And it's also an easy way to do little bounties at first, because it's anybody could find a link. Anybody could post hey, Jim hangs out on DigiLife is an example of times. So DigiLife is a good example of a possible link for a keyword such as cooperative governance or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm running out of breath real quick, but I wanted to nail down some of the specifics of the game, and then I also just wanted to get it out there in the beginning so that it becomes a habit for when people when they run across links and they start to understand the importance of links and broken links and things like that they'll immediately go, oh, and they'll jump right over to the spreadsheet and copy and paste it, and then it'll aggregate, and I can go in and try to acquire those links for Rchain or whatever content that we're trying to acquire it for.
Yeah. That's interesting. So, do you want to put me up your document?
Do I? Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's easy. You have it right there. Yeah. So that's a draft of the guidelines, and I want some initial feedback on that. And the goal of getting of that specific document is, first of all, to link to the spreadsheets, but second of all is to for somebody that has no marketing experience at all but wants to contribute to Rchain in a way that it has a benefit. It's they want to be a part of the swarm but they have no marketing experience. How can we get it to those guidelines, help them understand what link building is, and then how they can apply that?
Yeah.
So that's what that's for. I wouldn't consider that at all the final draft, especially with the numbers. I don't know any of the numbers. I don't know, bounties. I don't know if we want to do it like that. I just was drafting up a concept of what.
One thing is that we have to express bounties into USD.
Right. Yeah.
Because
which I don't think I did.
When the RHOC goes sky high, for example, in no time, then you end up. Okay. So, and the USD is more stable.
Right. I agree, and I hope it does go sky high in no time. We got some work to do on that.
And I think we can add a use case for how you do these kind of things. So it's a real workout from this digital life. Maybe we can use that as a use case and then work it out and all the steps involved and so.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I wanted to put that out there before the meeting before these community feedback sessions and these meetings got out there, and then I'm going to spend some time later this week and next week to drive certain examples like use cases like DigiLife, or I wanted to use the architecture document as a first example. So where can we link? Where's really good places to link the architecture document to? Like, are there educational portals.edu are there computer science universities that want to link to the architecture document because it's this.
So we could get in touch with maybe the University of Denmark.
That's a perfect example. And if you just
and how they discovered Rholang and so.
Right. That's perfect. So the way that I see this in the game mechanics is that you copy and paste the link to the University of Denmark. You express you put it on the content for architecture document, and then you put the reason, which is they've expressed interest in Rholang. So the keywords would be Rholang, smart contracting language, and then I go out under as a representative, and then I actually go and try to acquire a link. Say, hey, I'm glad I'll do it in an email or I'll do it on a phone call or whatever. You go, I'm glad you guys care about the Rholang enough. Here's some documentation. Would you mind linking to it on your website or whatever, in your portal, whatever. And if they say yes, then the person who discovered the link, gets a bonus. And that's how the game.
Okay.
That's the way I see the game going.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So we have about 22 people interested in working in doing things. So
right.
And we can send out a standardized email for this likely linker game to work it out more. Is that a good idea?
I would, I would love to get as many people. They don't need to do the outreach at first, although that might be helpful. But if they were to just discover the link, essentially create the lead. So like you just mentioned, the University of Denmark, if you were to input that into the spreadsheet, then you put your tag on it. So, okay, HJ discovered this link. Yeah. Then I can batch all that and then send the emails out myself, or personalize the emails and then upon confirmation, indicate, hey, we got this link. I'll show it in the software that Rchain has this backlink. It's a quality backlink, and then you get points for discovering it. So we should create a standardized email, but it should be more around educating people about the opportunity to link back to Rchain, as opposed to them.
Okay, that supposes that this system is worked out completely already. So my email was more to give you help, to give you hands to get this going, to work out this document, write up a use case, develop this spreadsheet, getting the process right, and so.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
That you don't have to
I'm sorry. Right. Yeah. I went off on a tangent. That would be perfect. Yeah. Exactly. And then the first use case would be the architecture document, and then towards the end of June, this is why I wanted to get prepared in advance, is that they're preparing the Rholang tutorials. So it would be nice. It would be really nice to have these processes established in the workflow, kind of moving, and then we really get the Rholang tutorial for the keyword smart contracting language, and so anybody that types in smart contracting language, it's Rholang that comes up.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what I'm going to do is I set up this email and then I show it to you, and then we send it out to 22 people to give you
That's
more,
perfect.
to give you more hands for fixing this project.
That's great. That's perfect. I'll reach out to a couple other specific individuals too that I've been wanting to get into the community, but they just don't have any technical experience.
Okay.
So that would be
So
exciting. Yeah. I hope it works out really well.
so I make a note of it in the status reports. So you can babble along. Kevin, how are you doing?
Excuse me?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah, wonderful.
hey, Kevin.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How long were you on? Did you hear any of what I had just talked about?
Yeah, I jumped in. I'm hearing, but I'm not exactly following, so I don't know exactly what it is that you're proposing. But if there's any way that I can help, and you had mentioned that you were looking to have some folks that are non-technical help, that would be the category that I fall into. So I'm happy to give a helping hand.
Right. So and hello, Glenn. By the way, I see you're in here too. So just a summary of what H and I were just talking, because we're talking very tactical right now. So the idea of the cooperative is to create opportunities and ways for individuals to get involved with building and spreading the message of Rchain. A lot of us aren't technically capable of delivering what is required right now.
Oh, he dropped. Okay. I think he will reconnect. Hi, Glenn. Nice to have you in this call. Maybe he's fixing the audio or so, but okay. So we have a lot of things to cover today. This is a member meeting of the Rchain members. And here we discuss more operational things. So it's not so much about development of Rholang and Rchain and so, but more to get the organization going. So we have about 22 interested collaborators. They pay the fee in Ether or in Bitcoin. And most of them got 100 RHOC back. And most people are also subscribed to Github, and that's where we do some kind of project management. So, and okay. Here are a few epics, and we want to discuss the status of it. So, Patrick has been telling things about Point C, the likely linker game. And we have also a newsletter coming up. Patrick is coming online again. So when that gives me the opportunity to open the doc of the newsletter. And I wanted to ask Patrick if the newsletter is now ready.
Yeah, so I sent the first draft, I guess would be the way to put it, to the Rchain subscriber list. Got some feedback on it. Noticed some annoying little details that are going to bother me until the next one gets sent out. But besides that, the formatting should be ready. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What I found a pity is that the newsletter was taken out of the GitHub and went into an email discussion. So,
okay.
I understand it very well because Greg and Ed are not in this GitHub thing, so they don't follow the discussion, I think.
Right, and what I can do is, the reason why it went to an email discussion was because I was literally sending a test email
Yeah.
out. So what I can do is I can put anybody that's involved in the GitHub and that has curated and helped any of the drafts. I can create a segment in our SendPulse account for the GitHub contributors. So that's who I'll send the test email to. So
Okay.
it's still gonna move from, once it moves from draft to, or from Google Doc draft into SendPulse draft.
Yeah.
And then I send the test email. It's still it'll be an email engagement at that point. But I think the solution is that I'll create a segment that contains all of the GitHub contributors.
As long as there's some kind of link with the GitHub, then we see progress on this item.
Right. Yeah, I understand. And I'll work towards those best practices. I just, you know how it goes. The things,
it's fine.
The wheels get turning. Yeah.
It's not meant like a how do you say? But
I understand.
It's how to. We have to find a way how to work together. So
Right.
So here you see also an example of our issues. This works on the Chrome browser, and it's in the Rchain members repository. And if you go to boards, that's a add-on on GitHub and Chrome. Then you can make a Kanban system of issues, so you can follow a lot of things. So, and we try to manage more or less these kind of issues. So I will go back to my agenda. And what can I say about the newsletter? So the draft is almost approved, or Patrick?
Yeah. You could say that we need to start curating the next one too, because the goal is bi-monthly. Obviously, this month is the month where we just test the processes, so it might result in just one, but we can immediately start to get the next content curating.
And it's a newsletter of May or June.
This would be the end. Well, yeah, this would be June, the beginning of June. So June 1st. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So the Bring Your Own Identity, that's a project that started with Kit Blake and with James Carver. And the idea is that we need it for Rchain. And it's meant to be a single sign-on without giving up your identity. So you see that James Carver is writing on it. Okay.
Getting the hang out, Jim.
Yeah, I will message him. Oh, he's gone. No.
So is there a way to log into this right now?
Yeah. To this document, you mean? Or?
No, to BYOID, to the actual.
Yeah. So there's I will show you an issue of this. Where do I go? So I go. It's issue 41, and then you can assign yourself to this subject and work also on it. So for the moment, it's assigned to Kit Blake, Lapin 7, that's me, and James Carver. But if you're interested, then you can also express that, and you will be added to the team.
Nice. So what is it actually using? Using IOP, OpenID, WebID? Okay.
Yeah. There's one nice user story. Where is it? The shadow coder. So this is nice because we don't know if it's a she or a he, and she was charmed by the Rchain philosophy, and here it's explained how she gets, without making herself known, a connection to Slack. So, and this has to be worked out into a real operating thing. So,
Okay.
Well, what Patrick was also asking for, if we know some graphic and web designers, that would be very helpful too, because Patrick has his hands full at making a nice site for Rchain. So
Right, and Greg introduced me to Hannah, and I'm gonna need to follow up with her as well too. I forgot that we had been talking. I need to see what her availability is too, but also, yeah, the more the merrier, because web design is an area that I kind of lack in the marketing, and it'd be nice to get an extra help with that. Okay. I can also, I know I got cut off talking about the likely linker game. Did you?
Yeah, I can put it up again. Just a moment. I'll do it. So here it is. Yeah.
Right. So I don't know where I got cut off, but I'll just start back from the top. We're obviously here. The idea of the cooperative is to aggregate the community.
To which chapter you want me to go?
Just the top, or even if you clicked on the links, the content, and the keyword branches, because that's what's the most important. The guidelines we'll work through. So the idea is that it's a way of gamifying our SEO approach, search engine optimization, so that Rchain shows up on search results when you type in these broader keywords. So I have the focus topic is decentralized applications, blockchain. These are all big buzzwords in the industry. And if you were to type them in to Google, let's say right now, it's probably going to be a lot of Ethereum.
I can do a Google.
Sure.
But I don't know if you guys, how, aware of SEO and digital marketing types of things. One of the most important factors in increasing your search rankings is inbound links to your website. So that's essentially like a referral. If a very quality, high profile website, a very authoritative website is linking to your website for a specific keyword, then Google assumes that you have some sort of authority on that keyword, on that subject matter. So an example would be, decentralized applications. If you type, let's see, you typed in decentralized applications, centralized.
Hey, maybe you can share your screen. I stopped sharing.
Yeah, sure. 1 second. Just get everything down. But the idea is that just like in software development, you can find bugs in a program. Well, in digital marketing, a community can find opportunities to build links back to our website. So let me share this.
Please share. Yes, share. Okay.
Right. So this is when you type in decentralized applications. You have CoinDesk. You have
O'Reilly Media, what is a decentralized application, GitHub white paper and specs. So this is a link building opportunity, is to publish paper on decentralized applications. But anyway, the important thing to note is that we want to rank for these major keywords. And in particular, we're getting ready to, in the mid to end of June, release a tutorial on Rholang, which is Rchain's smart contracting language. So smart contracts are a huge buzzword in the industry. I'll type in, what is a smart contract? So smart contract, making sense of blockchain smart contracts. So you'll start to see that these people are ranking for the search result, smart contract. What is a smart contract? My goal with this game is to aggregate all of the community's inputs on link building opportunities so that we will rank for these major, larger keywords. And then as a result, we're going to have a large organic traffic over time for these major keywords. And then that's obviously beneficial for a bunch of different reasons. So what we can do is, if you see can you share your screen again, HJ? Share the spreadsheets. I don't know how to stop sharing. Oh, here we go. So what we can do, if you're not technical, but you're a researcher and you're super fascinated with blockchain as a whole and all the different topics and all the branches of the different topics that we go down, anytime you come across keywords, buzzwords, topics that you think are relevant to Rchain's message, then you can input them in this keyword branch. You might not know exactly where it fits, so I need to put an extra tab if you don't know where it fits. But the idea is to build these keyword branches, these topical branches out, and then build links to content that relates to those topics. And then if we do that correctly, over time, we will dominate the search engine results for those topics. And then if you go to the next spreadsheet, all you have to do, so that's a roundabout way of saying all you have to do is, if you come across some organization, a resource page, a blog website, a university, any of that stuff that you think fits with any of these keywords, just link to it in this spreadsheet and then put your name there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to batch all of the link opportunities and then do outreach. If we get the link and it's a quality link back to whatever content we choose, then you get points in the game. And ultimately those points are going to be equivalent to RHOC bounties. So it's a way of getting, because I don't know all of the opportunities in this space, and it would take a long time for me to research individually those opportunities. But if we open it up to everybody, then we might get this aggregated effect that compounds really quickly. So I think that the first use case that we should use is not actually the jobs posting, because I had a discussion with Nash about that, and he's working directly on jobs posting. But the architecture document is a good place to start.
Okay. So I have one question. It's more for book accounting.
Okay.
Could we say that this is a prize to win and it's not regarded as work or so? So that you don't have to pay tax on it or so, or then I will ask this question to Lisa and to Evan, because that would make us a bit more freer in defining bounties and paying them out.
Right. Yep. I agree. And actually Joe Denman had a good idea about this, and bounties in general, is that in these games, your participation essentially only makes you eligible for prizes. It doesn't directly relate to the prize itself. So that means if 100 people submit links, then, or if one person submits or discovers 10 links, another person discovers 5, another person discovers 2, and 1, they all become eligible. It's a prize pool for this game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
that's
that
like
you're not.
Parimutuel.
It doesn't over.
That's like a Parimutuel game.
I'm not.
Okay, Kevin, do you know more
Okay,
about
that's cool.
this? Please tell a bit more about.
Well, this is how states legalize like horse racing, for example, or lotteries. So but I don't want to detract from the conversation, but that's the gist of it. That essentially you're eligible for a pool of earnings.
Okay, and then you don't pay any taxes, or
Cut out.
Well, you pay for taxes on winnings.
We'll have to figure this out. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, just look up the term Parimutuel betting.
Could you put it in the chat box, please? Because then I can copy that word and.
It's
okay. We'll do.
Yeah, so he'll put it in the chat box in the chat. But it's a betting system in which all bets are particular type are placed together in a pool, and then the house takes are removed. So it's one prize as opposed to anybody that discovers a lick accounting process. It's the fact that you participated in the game is weighed into your probability of winning the prize pool. So something like that, or maybe not even probabilities. Maybe it's just 1 for 1. If you participate in the game, or if one of your links gets accepted, then you are you're eligible to win the prize, the bounty of the game. It could be something like that. All stuff needs to get worked out, and that's all going to get complicated. But it would be really nice to just start to get those links rolling, because then we can see the effect of if it actually is something worth opening up to the community. Like, does everybody know the value of links, and are they willing to put it on these sheets? And then we can go from there.
Okay. Any questions about this game, or?
Does any?
Yeah, go ahead.
Does that? Yeah, I would love any questions on the game and the feedback, and I start to ramble, but it's as simple as when you're doing your own independent research, if you notice, like, hey, this website you could link to for this keyword, this website talks about this topic, or this blog post talks about this topic, you just input it into the spreadsheet. And then what that's doing is batching all of the opportunities for me, and then I can go and do the individual outreach. And then once that link is, it's simple at the end of the day. But it gives you an opportunity to participate if you're non-technical, as well as we have to figure out the bounty dynamics, but it's possible to earn RHOCs for giving us a quality link opportunity. An example of a high quality link would be like what HJ talked about, I think before you guys got on, is the University of Denmark, I believe it was interested in Rholang specifically for a use case in some of their research. So .edus are particularly authoritative domains because it's an educational website. So Google's like, oh, it's a university. If they link to you, then you must be serious. So the fact that HJ discovered that link, and then if I can get it accepted by doing the email outreach, then that's a really positive outcome for the long-term SEO of Rchain.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so anybody who's interested in this project, they can add comments on the link I pasted here in the chat box. I would like to move on with the co-op membership agreement. We have to be clear that it is a kind of pre registration.
Right.
because we are not allowed yet, from a legal standpoint of view, to advocate membership. So this is going to be worked out, and in the coming month or so, there will be some clear answers on that. If you're interested in this process, then it's done with Google Forms. I'll also change it like this. And it's a way to branch questions. So we have a lot of sections, and depending on the answer, you go deeper in what you want to make, how you want to collaborate with the Rchain. So when you go to the document I'm making the notes in, like this document, you can find out how this works, and it's also in the GitHub and if you have any ideas to improve it, then you're welcome, of course. Okay, so about the finance stuff, we are investigating a lot about which forms to use for collaborators. We have, for example, this form. It's official tax forms, and this is for somebody like me who's living in the Netherlands, and probably I don't have to pay taxes. So, but I have to pay my taxes in Holland. And here's another form for this is for contractors. They have to fill this out, like social security number must be known, etc. And so we try to do things as legal as possible. We also want to make a kind of decentralized project approval system and budget allocation. And we work on this spreadsheet where you could introduce projects, and then we choose some people who can decide about it. And if they approve it, then the project can go on, and also a budget will be specified to spend on. And depending on the team size, if it's a big team, then RHOCs will go to the team lead, and he's responsible for distributing RHOCs further on. But you can see it's all in its infancy. It's only fake data at the moment, but we are also trying to improve this. So what do we have else? This is also an important subject on issue 29, that is getting the RHOC registered on an exchange. And for example, we have to fill out a form like for bittrex. And it's almost done, but there's some items that have to be filled out. That is how it has to do with Ethereum, how the contract for validating this coin is done. So if somebody knows about a bit more about Ether, then maybe you can go to this document and help us to get it right. And when this paper is ready, then we can send it to bittrex for submission. Okay, I have to go back here. And this is also the case for bitsquare. It's a decentralized exchange. And it's not for nothing that it is the first one, because this will be the most easiest one, because there's no strict validation from countries or legal things or so. So because it's decentralized and it cannot be stopped by anyone. But here again, we need some Ethereum code to prove that the RHOC is a valid coin. So, yeah. Well, that's about it. We have also, I was interested in the video about Rholang, how that's advancing, but I think nobody knows about it in this group at the moment. And the logo design for the new coin. Ref is the coin that's going to be on the Rchain platform, and the current RHOC is on the Ethereum platform. So we need a new coin again on the Rchain platform, but it's only about the logo design for this, and there's also a group working on it. Well, that's about it. Do you have any suggestions, comments, or whatever? Otherwise, I'm going to stop the meeting, and after this meeting, there's the official meeting with Greg Meredith, and he goes more about, he can give nice updates about Rchain and about the development. So.
Yeah, no questions from me.
Okay. Thanks for coming in. Glenn also, happy that you have joined this meeting.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm new here, and I've just, can you hear me?
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks. First time here, just new, and actually, is there a meeting at 11 as well, or 11 Seattle time?
Yeah, I'm here in Holland, so, but in 1 quarter from now, there's another meeting. Does it help?
Okay, okay. Okay. Well, good to see you guys in here. I've read, your posts and so on and so forth, but good to see you guys.
Yeah. So
Nice to meet you as well.
What I'm trying to do is to do side work, in fact, because a lot of things to do, and yeah, hopefully we get more people involved in this, and then yeah, we can go ahead. So I'm looking forward in collaboration with you.
Great.
Okay. Wonderful. See you maybe then in the next meeting.
Yeah, see you then too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, take care. Bye.
And save this.